Manchester. Today, Richmond's Planning Commission is moving forward, requesting the city approve the development of a 17-story apartment complex in the heart of Manchester, right by the James River. Some of the people who live and work there say the skyline is not the only concern.
Our Elizabeth Holmes has been following this since last July and sat in on today's Planning Commission meeting, and she joins us now live with the latest. Elizabeth?
Well, Julie Leland, there was a common trend among people who spoke out against the new apartment complex that's going to come right here in the heart of Manchester. They say it is going to be a monolith compared to other apartment complexes in the area. It's going to block the iconic skyline view of Richmond, and it's going to cause some traffic concerns. Now, the developers have changed their plans for the apartment complex several times between last July and now in an attempt to save some of the skyline and calm those concerns. The original plan for the apartment complex included an 11-story tower that would have had up to 350 units, and now the updated plans would have the property take up about 3 acres and have 2 separate 17-story towers that would have a gap in between them to maintain some of the view. One of the towers was also moved to save some of the skyline view, and the apartment would have about 550 units and then the same number of parking spaces. Now, the approved special use permit would also include green space and some pedestrian improvements, and the developer Avery Hall said it made these changes to align with the community needs. It also pledged to donate $1 million to affordable housing efforts in Richmond. However, some of the people who spoke today said despite the conversations that they've had with developers, one of the neighborhood favorites, Legend Brewing Company, would be significantly impacted by the construction because of increased traffic and the blocked skyline view, which would ultimately change the popularity of the spot and put the business in danger. Now, we spoke with the VP of Legend Brewing, who spoke at the meeting alongside others against this plan, and there were some who were in favor of it, who said this could bring a new vibrancy to the area, as it will be an attractive spot to live in.
There's definitely a trade-off. It's hard to tell because we're losing a lot of our business from elsewhere. Again, if you can't park, we have people drive by, we have people who call and say, we want to have a party there. Can you guarantee we'll have a place for everybody to park? It's kind of hard to make those guarantees.
You look at every commercial, every advertisement right now, they're using our view to promote something. And that is what should be considered by this commission.
This is going to be a beautiful building. It's going to be some amazing opportunities.
This project is really the result of months and months of working with the community to make it a better project, and we're looking forward to being a great neighbor.
Now, a spokesperson with Avery Hall said it would take about a month for City Council to make a decision on this development, and then construction would start soon after. In Manchester, I'm Elizabeth Holmes, CBS 6 News.